Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Leo, September 16th to the 30th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. Excuse me. Our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Tower and we have the Magician, which this is a beautiful combination. I know we're going to sit there, Leo, and say, oh my gosh, I have the Tower, it's terrible. No, we have the Tower. It signifies change, and it signifies a change that has us standing before the altar of our existence. And it's kind of like, if this didn't happen, we wouldn't be here. It wouldn't have brought us to this place of power, which is really quite cool. Then we have the Nine of Waters, the Nine of Cups, blessings, prosperity, abundance. It's swimming upstream. It's knowing that there's still more to come. You know, there's still hard work to do, but that we get to rejoice and we get to, be focused on our goals. We then have the Nine of Air, the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is worry, doubt, and fear. And we have this absolutely covered with bees here, which can be problematic, when you look at something or when you're walking around and you see this huge bees starting to swarm around a place. It can cause fear. But the repeat of the number 9 is showing us that we're coming close to a completion of a cycle. We're not quite there yet, and we know that within our inner selves, that we're not quite to the place that we had originally wanted to be, or that we had thought we would be. We also have to be very mindful of during this time not to be really harsh on ourselves and say, wow, I'm not where I needed to be yet, and that's okay. That really is. We then have the Death card, Scorpio energy, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. If we have Scorpio within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully within our emotional selves. And then leads us to the Queen of Wands, which is us in the Minor Arcana. We are represented by the Wands in the Minor Arcana, by the Strength card in the Major Arcana. Public Arena, we have the Ace of Wands. A gift is going to be given to us in the public arena in a way that we do take emotionally. It's not going to be as powerful as if this Queen of Wands was in the same suit all right, from, well, not in the same suit, from the same deck, what we're going to see here is that there is power coming forward. And then we have the Five of Wands. What we have to do when we get this gift is take it and internalize it emotionally instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I have to fight. I have to fight. I have to stand my ground. I can't let anything pass me or hurt me or whatever it's going to be. It's kind of like we've been conditioned that you have to fight for the gifts that we are given. And what Spirit is saying here now is like, no, you don't have to fight. You just have to look at yourself. Look at your heart. Look at your talents, your gifts, your beauty within you, and let that move you forward in a very real way. Now, let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the Prince of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is also a sense of being really caught up in our emotions and thinking, well, not really thinking things through and letting our emotions just guide us forward. How we feel is going to be how we react instantaneously. And we're going to like people during this time who put a lot of emotion, put a lot of power behind what they do. But it's not going to be power in a sense of, I've come to this conclusion. It's going to be fly-by-night feels that will change all the time, and there's not a steady basis. So we do have to be mindful that during this time we're not using our emotions as a weapon, or our emotions aren't being weaponized against us. What we have to do is we have to step into our heart, our passion, our soul, and ourselves, and look at things powerfully, purposefully, and intentionally. And that can be very difficult because we want things to have happened yesterday. So there's a little bit of impatience that comes forward. Our chakra energy for this time, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, is grounding. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. This is connecting with the earth. This is rooting ourselves in creation and understanding. This can be, going outside, going barefoot, connecting with the earth, or barefoot shoes if you don't want to walk barefoot on the ground. And this is letting the earth's energy be a part of us. But this is also saying with the Earth Star chakra, what is rooting us? What is feeding us? What is nurturing us? And why? So as we are rooted, as we are taking up this energy, what energy are we taking up? What is part of our life that is celebrating us or is hindering us, that is moving us forward or keeping us held back? That's going to be important. It's like, what am I feeding myself with? It's kind of like planting a tree, but with soil meant for a cactus. It's not going to work. The tree isn't going to thrive. It might not even survive. So are we planting ourselves in the right soil? Are we taking care of ourselves and nurturing ourselves in the right way? That brings us to the tower. Tower. There we go. Tower. It brings us to this place of chaos. It brings us to this place of being pushed out of our comfort zone. And it brings us to this place that has us looking at things so differently than we have before. Now, with the tower, we, again, pushed out of our comfort zone. It's divinity's handiwork coming in. Sometimes this is a traumatic event, but this is also just change. It can be, maybe I'm going to start, going on this walk instead of that walk, like changing the path that I go on. And it starts to change things. Things start to come up, or, maybe I'm going to take this class, or, look at this new thing and open up this book that I've always been meaning to. And it starts to change our thinking, opens our minds, moves us in a different direction than we had anticipated. That's all part of the tower. The tower is change that comes in, that brings us and leads us on a different course. And it becomes powerful. Now, it can be huge change that just absolutely can be devastating, overwhelming, intense. But this is a change that without it, we would not be standing before the altar of our existence saying, it's time. It's time to claim my passion, my power, my intuition, my determination. It's time to walk forward in the beauty and in the brilliance that is me. It's time to see me openly and honestly and powerfully. The magician says, as above, so below. As I think it, so it becomes. If we go through this tower time and we let ourselves, because it is kind of a letting, but it's also, sometimes we just become so overwhelmed with the emotions of the world around us that it doesn't feel like it's even in our control. But if we let the change and the hurt and the pain take over, if we let it define us and bury us, it will. And that will be all that we think about when we stand before the altar of our existence, calling in our power, calling in our prosperity, calling in our abundance. And so what Spirit is saying here is be very mindful of your mindset. Be very mindful of the energy that is around you. There's going to be an energy cleanse that comes in. That's why in our inner selves, we see that we're on the brink of something more. It has us swimming against our emotions at times. That's why our emotions are going to be a little bit of a tricky thing. It's not saying don't trust your emotions. It's just saying that we're having a transformation of our emotions, which can make things a little bit more intense. and us a little bit more intensely reactionary to things. The Nine of Cups is celebration, it's a wish come true, it's prosperity and it's success. Here we have the Seventh swimming upstream. We have this sense of I am swimming against the waters, what everybody else expects, what is the easy way to go about things, to get to the place that I need to be for my prosperity, for my betterment, for my future. And so during this time, there's a sense of, if I believe in myself, I can move me forward. If I see me, I can embrace my power, my passion, my understanding, and my brilliance. This is going to be very important for us because the Nine of Air is nightmares, doubts, fears, chaos. But it's also the sense of, I have to protect me. And so the fight or flight comes in. And it's like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight against the chaos, the demons, the hurts, the pains, the disappointments, And it can also be, I'm going to flight. I'm going to run away. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I can't deal with this anymore. I need to see me powerfully, intuitively, and personally. I need to be able to see my richness. The richness of honey, the beauty, the depth of taste, the sweetness needs to come back. And so we look at our nightmares. What are they shielding us from? What are they shielding us from seeing? What are they shielding us from experiencing? How are they holding us back, hindering us, hurting us in a way when they're supposed to be helping us? How are our dreams coming forward in our inner selves? And it's like, can I open up this door? Can I go after what I want, what I need, who I am, and what I desire? And the answer is absolutely yes. But it's going to be a little bit more complicated than we had originally wanted it to be. We want things to be easy as human beings. And this has us having to stay calm, having us stay centered. I don't know if you've ever watched, what is it? Oh, I forget. The Bee Saver. I don't know. She's this woman from Texas who saves the bees. And she just scoops them up with her hands sometimes. Sometimes she sprays them. But she just calmly moves them if they're on, I saw her moving them from a table to a box to be relocated. And that's what we're going to do here. It's like we're calmly moving our dreams, not moving our dreams, moving our nightmares from a place where they obscure our dreams, our passion, our desire, really taking in the beauty and the blessing that gets to be a part of us. And it's like, no, just taking you and I'm moving you. You don't have a place here right now. And you're going to be rehomed, meaning that our nightmares, our fears are going to be looked at. They're going to be addressed. We're going to see why they're there, why they're holding us back. And we're going to find a place for them within our lives, meaning that they're there to protect us for one reason or another. In our world today, we have so many abstract battles that we are fighting, but they're not the same as the hunter-gatherer battles that our ancestors fought for so long. And so even though DNA-wise, personally, we have this reaction of the fight or flight, here it's going to be dealt with differently. And we're going to be seeing that. And there's a sense of calm, and there's also a sense of maturity that comes into the dealing with the chaos, the nightmares, the doubts, the fears that have held us back for too long. It's like, you don't get to be what weighs me down anymore. And it leads us to the death card. And emotionally, there's a dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. There's this, beauty that comes out of an ending. And we're going to be able to see that beauty. We're going to be able to call upon that beauty. We're going to be able to see ourselves transforming emotionally, which leads us to this place of being a queen, of embracing our sacred feminine energy, of embracing our passion, our power, our intuition, our desire, and saying, this is me. We are transforming. And a lot of times the transformation isn't necessarily what we wanted it to be. It might not be the way that we thought our lives would be moving forward. It may not be to the place we thought we would be moving, or, how exactly we thought we'd be transforming within our lives. But if we step back and we look at it and we say, either this is a stepping stone because this is uncomfortable and I don't like it. This is a stepping stone to something greater. Or this is me transforming. This is me shedding away an old layer of self, an old part of myself, to embrace who I truly am and who I truly need to be. Because as the queen, we don't need to be, as the Queen of Wands, we don't need to be center stage. We don't need to be in the middle of everything. What we need to be is following our path and our truth, our power, and our fire. What warms us, what nurtures us, what brings us forward. Because remember, without fire, we cannot cook our food. We cannot warm our homes. And so that's going to be important here, to have this fire, this tenacity, this brilliance, and to embrace it as the queen, to embrace it as the creative, powerful, nurturing person that we are, the nurturing of our passion, our desires. And it brings us to the Ace of Wands. In the public arena, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of passion and creativity. It's handing us a gift of fiery determination. Like our blood is getting boiled about something. It's like, oh, this is it. This is why. This is what I need to do. And as we embrace this, we start to embrace ourselves. We start to see ourselves more openly and more honestly. We start to move ourselves forward more tenaciously. We have to take it. And this is going to be an emotional taking, because we need our emotions to calm and center, to be able to see our blessings and the way that we have transformed, because that's what has us standing before the altar of our existence. And that's what has us moving forward in a way that maybe we never expected, but that gets to be such a tangible, powerful part of ourselves that brings our dreams, that brings our desires. But we're going to be so used to fighting. And this is almost like, if you surrender, you will see. And it's not being lackadaisical or placid or, saying to people, oh, it doesn't matter. It's saying, no, this is my strength, this is my power, this is my purpose, this is my intention. But I'm not going to be at war with everyone, and especially myself. I'm not going to let other people's negativity that's seeped within me, which is what a curse is. A curse is other people's negativity, other people's words of doubt and fear and hurt and pain that were spoken over you, that seeped into your mind and kept you from moving forward. Now, this is a sense of, I'm done. I'm done, and I get to see me. I get to embody me. I get to be emboldened by me. And I'm not going to get involved in office politics or everybody's petty arguments. I'm going to move forward in tenacious determination of myself. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Hierophant. This is saying that we can get very caught up in the tradition of things, very caught up in the way that it has to be. It has to be like this, it has to be like that, and very caught up with people who are very rigid. What we need to do is we need to embrace the sensuality of our being, the creativity of our souls, the understanding of ourselves. And that's going to be really important to us during this time. And not to surround ourselves with people who say, no, it only has to be like this, or it's only like that. Or who speak and they sound very like open-minded and accepting and loving and nurturing, but their actions are completely different. We might have a hard time with that too, with people where they say things a very certain way, and you're thinking, oh, wow, that sounds lovely. But their actions are much more rigid, much more judgy. It moves us to our chakra energy. And this is listening, the throat chakra. We need to listen to our words, to ourselves, to what our heart is saying, to what our throat is saying, to the way that we are expressing ourselves silently, so the way that we speak to ourselves in our own heads. We need to listen to our connection with spirit, with what we want, with what we desire from the world, with what's holding us back and making us afraid. We also need to listen just to the world around us. And that is powerful, because the world is so funny. It's always talking. Everybody's always talking, always, always having to have the last word. What if we listened? What if we listened and saw and gained that greater understanding? It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, which is temperance, balance, Sagittarius energy. So if we have that within our natal chart, it's coming through very powerfully at our root, subconsciously. But we're going to see ourselves transformed. We're going to see ourselves cleansed. And we're going to see ourselves finding the balance of who we are, of where we want to be, and how we are growing as an individual person and as a powerful self. It moves us then to our subconscious inner self. And that is the craftsman of air. We're learning how to use our voice, our mind, our greater understanding of knowledge and self to cut away doubts, fears, and negativity, to stand in our power, to know what is true for us and what isn't, and to create endless possibilities, to create new paths forward. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and this is the King of Swords. Again, air sign energy, just like the craftsman of air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So if we have this within our natal chart, it's coming through at our hearts and in our inner selves. The King of Swords is the warrior king. He is not going to back down. He is not going to stop. He is going to charge forward and slay what needs to be slayed. Within ourselves during this time, we embrace the power of our words, the power of our thoughts, the power of our intentions. We see the ferocity of our inner selves to open up the door, to move us forward, and to go after what we want. This is a time where there is more to us than meets the eye. This is a time where there's a fierce determination that might overwhelm us, where our hearts are saying no, and our hearts and our mind are talking to each other, and we might not know how exactly to fall into alignment with what we are thinking and what we are feeling. And so here we're opening up the door more and saying, okay, my mind and my heart need to come to terms with each other, need to be on the same page as each other. What is my mind mentally trying to protect me from that my heart is afraid to feel? Or what is my heart afraid to feel that my mind is afraid to see? So that's going to be important here. It moves us to our subconscious inner self and public arena self, which is the Hierophant. So as much as we were told to be mindful of the Hierophant, Taurus energy, we are being told here that that is also a really great thing for us. The balancing, the keys, the embracing of sensuality, the embracing of tradition and determination. It's also the minor arcana, the major arcana marriage card. What are we married to? It doesn't mean that who are we married to, or even if we are married. What is it that if I go against this intrinsic part of me, I will lose a part of myself, a powerful part of myself? What is it that I need to hold on to, gain an understanding of, a passion, to move me forward, to walk in my pride and determination and distinction? The Hierophant is the Pope, and the Pope in medieval times was the ruler of kings. I mean, he told kings what to do. And so here, this is the part of us that's connected to spirit, that tells the mightiest part of our personality, the mightiest part of those here on earth, what to do, how to move forward. And this is us connecting with it, connecting with that power, that insight, and those ideas. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we determinedly swim against the current and go after our dreams. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.